The PL Show is brought to you by Kel Charcoal, Kel 360, and Kel Kids Toothpaste. Hello, you're welcome to another edition of the Phenomenal Lady Show. It's proudly brought to you by Kel Toothpaste. With Kel is always a happy smile. We are the Kel Charcoal, Kel 360, and Kel Kit. Today is the day set aside to celebrate workers wherever you find yourself today. I am a worker, you are a worker. No matter what you do, at least your contribution is very much needed as a society. And today we are celebrating a great worker, a Ghanaian worker at that. She's the former government statistician for this country, currently the board chairman of the Ghana Statistical Service as well. She's been a statistician most part of her life. We get to delve into it today. I am Emefa Apawu. As always, my clothing is brought to you by Kafui Clothing. You can find them on all our social media platforms and get yourself this as well. My guest for today is Dr. Grace Bediako. We're grateful to have you today on the Kel Toothpaste PR Show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure for me to be able to interact with you because I get to learn a lot from you. But today I get to delve deeper into your life. So it makes me happy. We are not just talking statistics, but as we celebrate Workers' Day, maybe it's a good time for you to maybe speak to workers on what's the relevance of the day and what we ought to be pondering over as Ghanaian workers for today.
I was once a worker, right? I'm still retiring. So yes, good day to everyone. This is a significant day because all through, for most of us, 20, 30, 40 years of our lives, we are working. A few holidays here and there. And so it's good to have a time to just stand back, be celebrated. So workers should be proud of today. And I think it's a good time to also reflect as a worker. How am I contributing to the lives of my family members, society, the country as a whole, and in particular, my institution? A lot of times, we just go through the motions. We are workers, we earn our salaries, but it's so important to make a mark wherever you are. As it's written, you only come this way once. There's always an opportunity to make an impact. And we should not lose it. So today, I wish us all well and pray that it will be a good time of reflection for us also to correct things that we are not doing right on the job.
Equal to all Ghanaian workers, wherever you find yourself, every worker, wherever you are. Happy May Day to you once again as we delve into our discussion with Dr. Grace Bediako today. So I've said a lot in terms of what we know publicly about Dr. Grace Bediako. Who really is Dr. Grace Bediako, you would say?
I was born in Atakimoda and grew up practically there till the age of 11 or 10, 11 when I came to boarding school, Nachmota School. At the age of about 5, I went to Hector International School at Atakimoda, boarding school.
Okay.
Yeah. I've really got a passion for boarding school. I think boarding school shaped my life. The headmaster was Presbyterian and he loved scriptures, so he made us memorize a lot of scriptures, and I think that also helped me. So at Chimota School, I was there for 7 years, so O-level, did the advanced level.
Oh, you did both at Achimota,
yes.
Okay.
And moved to Legon, University of Ghana, where I did my first degree. It was the first, we called it the first university exams, where FUE was in statistics, maths, and economics.
Yes. What a combination.
Yeah.
Do you remember the age you were when you went to the University of Ghana?
It would have been 17, 18.
17.
Yeah.
Well, maths and a female, would you say yours is a gift, or is that easy? Because we know that a lot of young female students always shy away from it. Is it that difficult?
It's not that difficult. Maths is a lot of logic, applying principles, and indeed it's a way of life. It is our life. The maths is totally in every area of our lives, right? I think we have to put our minds to it. Many times we shy away from it before we know that it's even something we can do. So I can say it's a gift. It was natural to me. I had the interest also. When you're good at something, you have the interest. But I had good teachers.
Do you think we ought to take a look again at the way maths is taught in our schools?
Absolutely. In secondary school, first year of Form 1, a textbook was introduced. It was experimental, joint school project. And a couple of teachers from Fansipim, a few of the top schools, had come together to do this maths textbook. And it was so practical in the sense that directions I learned from maths, Form 2 or so, how to give directions. Go left to right, and then on the return journey, it's the opposite, you know. So everything involves calculation, and we are not teaching it that way. So people don't feel that they need maths. There was once a discussion on whether maths should be a requirement for entering university. Absolutely, you must pass maths. Otherwise, if you are a mason, you will see that the stairs are uneven because you don't start with a calculation. So it's really important that we all learn maths, know it, but as you're saying, teach it differently so that people identify with it, value it, and then they can put their effort behind it.
Did you always know you would be a statistician?
I didn't, but path was ordered. So I did maths, statistics, economics. I dropped the maths and took economics and statistics to my first degree. Then I did population studies at the Regional Institute of Population Studies. That also just happened in a sense. I had not planned to do population studies. I was doing my national service. My sister comes to me, oh, do you want a scholarship to do the demography, the population studies? So yeah, said speak to Professor Konjo then. He was looking for people to enroll in reps. So I went. And then through that, I applied to University of Pennsylvania to do demography, master's and PhD. So my path was not fully statistics, but it was a branch of it. And also again, by some providence, I had a consultancy at the United Nations whilst I was in school.
Okay.
And it was for the conference in 85 in Nairobi. It was Nairobi conference. I got to a break to the UN from there and continued school and got another chance, this time short contract at the Dominican Republic. It was a UN institute for the advancement of women. So I went there to do statistics, and that is how professionally I got into statistics. And so I had been there working as hard as I needed to do. Traveled a lot because I was then a technical advisor on gender statistics. And then one day I saw an advert for the government statistician's position. By that time, because I had advised so many countries, I said, why not?
Why not your country?
Support my country. I applied for it. And then I was invited for the interview. However, I don't think they paid attention to the fact that this is someone in New York. So I got the letter maybe on a Tuesday or Wednesday, then the interview was Monday.
Oh no.
So I wrote back and said, no way, I cannot come for the interview. So that passed. There was a second advert that I didn't apply for. Then there was a third advert. So they'd never filled the position. I applied for that. I did not hear anything. Then my mother passed away. So I was coming home to Ghana. I said, let me take a suit. And everything that maybe they will call. And lo and behold, that's what happened. So I was at the funeral when a colleague, a former colleague at the UN said, oh, they want you to come for an interview. I went for the interview. That's how I got to be statistician.
Even though it was divine, you were also prepared for that situation in case it faced you. It takes me nicely to our Seed to Oak segment, which is brought to you by Kelkit's toothpaste. Is strawberry flavored, and of course it's FDA approved as well. So brushing time is fun time these days for your children. It's a good time for us to get into Seed to Oak segment with Dr. Grace Bediako. From the young Grace to the statistician and everything in between, Grace Bediako. What would you say about your childhood shaped you into who you are today?
First, my mother, a disciplinarian. We were never caned, but she spoke. She would talk to you in such a way that you don't want to hear it again. The other was the scriptures. Very early I learned scriptures. Then when I went to secondary school, I joined the scripture union, and that really conditioned the way I lived. Even though sometimes I say I didn't fully commit, but there was always that ruler. My mother's voice behind me, and then the scriptures. So that kept me within bounds. I think those are the two pillars that have shaped my life. Parental training and then
the scripture. And then paying particular attention to the things that you do.
Yes.
Interesting. How long were you the government statistician?
I came in 2004, and 2012 was when my appointment ended as government statistician. The other thing that maybe puts my name on the screens was the inflation.
Yeah.
That was when we started the monthly release of inflation on the air. During that time, we had surveys like the Ghana Living Standard Survey, the maternal mortality, the Ghana Demographic and Health Survey. So those were the programs that we ran.
It appears you were the longest serving, weren't you? A government statistician we had. And then the key was the population census, because we know it happens every 10 years.
Yes.
And it appears that also put you out there. How difficult was it, knowing that you're just taking over and you have to prepare for such a big thing?
Population census is the most enormous statistical exercise for almost every country.
Yeah.
Because it's a massive mobilization at all levels. So it was hard work. I think everyone has the first time with the statistics, every government statistician. And you need the support of the whole country to be able to achieve anything. Yeah.
Were you surprised at the figures in terms of the demographics, amongst others, out of that 2010 population and housing census?
You are relieved when it's close, because it's really a big test.
Yeah.
If you're off the projections, you will try to explain them away, but who will buy into you? You yourself, you feel that there's something wrong. What we got was within the estimates. There were no fears then. We had to accept the figures. The
last census as well, you were involved to a large extent.
Yes.
The procedures may have changed because this time we employed a lot of IT, technology, amongst others. What would you say was a vast difference between the 2010 one and then what we just had?
Because of the technology, monitoring was also real time. Even though we had to go on the ground, you could do a lot from the office and direct people as to where to go.
Okay.
Just an example of how we used technology. We collected data from some of the districts, all the districts. We mapped out the points of structures. And just on the map, you can see where structures are, but it seems no enumerator has gone there. And so you were able to send people directly to that place. And in a few places, we had to do total canvassing to find out how the people were missed, and we counted them. So it was a big change.
Okay, but the concern, at least most people have, is that we churn out these data, nice figures, we know what is needed in terms of development, but it appears that governments do not really pay attention to what is churned out to be able to direct development to where it is needed. Is that your observation as well?
Yes, that's a fair observation. I take it from the statistics, but probably we haven't sold statistics well enough. So not everyone appreciates statistics, that statistics can really help them achieve the goal that they want to achieve by pointing to where the deficiencies are, and then also helping us to track whether we are moving in the right direction. In the same vein, statistics is something that governments are leery of, because it will tell you whether you are doing well or not. And so not everyone open-heartedly receive the news of statistics.
Was there ever a moment in your work that at least you had a government of the day, for instance, say that these inflation figures, you need to slow down on it a bit more in terms of putting it out there in its raw state as it is?
I've reflected on that, and I think the kind of respect that any government had for that institution, and also for me, I think there was never a time that anyone came to me and said, hey, hold it, don't release it. Never a time.
It takes me to 360 segments. She summed it up nicely for us, but this, in a few seconds, will tell you all about Dr. Grace Bediako. And the 360 segment is brought to you by Kel 360. It gives you that cool, fresh, minty breath all day long, and it's safe for use for the entire family. It's also FDA approved. 360.
Grace Bediako was appointed to be the head of Ghana's Statistical Service and served from June 2004 to June 2012. Prior to that, she was the Chief of Demographic Statistics Section of the United Nations Statistics Division from 2000 to 2004. Grace Bediako attended Achimota School, then to the University of Ghana, Legon, before proceeding to University of Pennsylvania.
That's a nice summary of who you are. Being a government statistician, would you do it all over again? I know you're on the board now, hopefully board chairman very soon. Would you want to be the government statistician again?
No. No. I hesitate to say no. Because it gets to a time, you've passed that mark. At the time I was government statistician, I remembered something. I had gone to the statistical service on internship before, and I recall that at some point I said the only way I would come to this institution is as a government statistician. I told myself, but I didn't remember and I didn't pursue it until it happened. I had also wanted to be a board chairman, and I am a board chairman. So I think that you rise. So even though it is, I think if I compare being a government statistician to being a board chairman, the government statistician is where the action is. The board chairman, you can say what needs to be done with your colleagues.
Taking or not.
Exactly, because you're not operational. But it's a comfortable position and it's a position of influence. So I wouldn't go back. But I would want to support any government statistician with my views and my thoughts. Yeah.
So from board chairman of the Ghana Statistical Service, what are we aiming at? Because I know that every step is ordered. By now, what has God said? Where is the path leading you at this point?
For now, it's two things. One is technical support consultancies. So I'll be on my own. The other would be doing what I haven't had time to do, which is the work of God.
Knowing what you know, sometimes we need people like your type to be in the political arena as well? Is this something you've ever considered?
No. A long time ago, when we were university, we had been thrown out for Aluta, you know. So I used to discuss with my father, and we were dead against corruption, screaming our heads off and so on. And my father told me, you would all do the same thing if you were there. I said, no, how can we? And so on and so forth. But later, there was a voice. I heard a voice and say, you will do the same thing if you don't check yourself. So it is a vulnerable position. I would support, but I don't think I would want to be in the forefront of politics in any kind.
On that subtle rejection of my, question notes, we'll take a quick break here on the Kel Toothpaste PL show. As always, brought to you by Kel 360, Kel Kits, and Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. We'll be right back.
Hello, my friends. My name is Kel Kits Toothpaste.
Wow.
I was made to be gentle on your gum, but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored. So put on a smile and try me.
That's amazing.
Just try me. That's my job.
If you say so, jump on my brush. Makes your teeth stronger, chicky whiter, chicky stronger. Yay! You did it!
I'm glad you like your new toothpaste. Don't forget to brush both day and night.
Kel Kits. Happy smile.
Welcome back, and we're still having that hearty chat with Dr. Grace Bediako, former government statistician, board chair of the Ghana Statistical Service. You hinted that amongst the things that you're hoping to do, which is always ordered by God, is to have time for his work. Yes. I'm sure you do a bit in that area already. What exactly do you do for God?
In my church, which is the Global Revival Ministries, where I worship at Atiko branch, Adonai Temple. I am one of the pastors. I am also the head of the women's fellowship we call Virtuous Women, and then also support the children's ministry. Then I, from time to time, conduct some of the Bible studies classes, and then do marriage counseling
as
also.
Well. How long have you been married?
25 years.
Wow.
This year.
What a journey. And I'll come for background lessons on that. But I have a little surprise for you. Who is that?
Yes, it's Prophet Michael, my son.
Hello, Prof.
Hello.
Welcome to the Kel Toothpaste PL show. And Dr. Grace Bediako is surprised to see you. I know you are the son in the Lord. Tell us a bit about what this connection is.
I know this great woman from the year 2006 until now, and I've seen the great works God has used her to do in the area of being loving and caring for the homeless, and also being supportive to the kingdom advancement and agenda. The first time I had an encounter with her, I went with my spiritual father to her house to pray for her. And that was the first time I literally see a woman of faith who can give a car out to a person. Every year, it does charity for the homeless. You go to the orphanage and bless them every December. It has been a culture with her from that time until now. In the year 2012, she blessed me with her own house. A woman that does not know me from anywhere blessed me with a house. She is a role model for the upcoming generation. We bless God for her life. May God give her an extension of life. May she live to fulfill God-given age. This is a little I can say to her.
You want to say anything to Prophet before he leaves us?
Prophet, thank you for making time to speak to us on this show and for all the blessings you have pronounce. Thank you.
And that's Prophet Michael Kwenyeji there joining us to surprise Dr. Grace Bediako. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Mommy.
Mama Josie. Fe.
Different era, better result. Time has changed and time has brought Kel Charcoal Toothpaste, healthy gums, anti-cavity, fresher breath, and it whitens teeth. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste, Sankofa,
Yenchi, Kale Chocolate Toothpaste.
happy smile.
You're welcome back, and it's time for the DIY segment, and it's brought to you by Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. And I'm sure that Dr. Grace Bediako knows this very well in Akimonda. I don't know if your grandparents, your parents took you through that, putting plantain pedoncle in charcoal and brushing your teeth and giving you that fresh breath and white teeth. Now you don't have to go through all that. All you need to do is to use a Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. It gives you that same effect, white teeth, fresh breath, safe for the entire family use, and of course it's FDA approved. Let's review what she got to do for us on our DIY segment.
Today I'm looking at grilled fish and baked potato, which I also like very much, with vegetables. So I have garlic, onion, ginger. Set it in the oven. Now watch the potatoes. Wrap it in foil so that it doesn't get dry. And then we and garlic. So I'm dishing out the vegetable. So the vegetables, we have cauliflower, carrots, broccoli. You need to garnish it a bit.
The saliva I swallowed whilst watching that. I bet you're doing same. And that will be a great Workers' Day lunch. And I hope the crew didn't eat it all by themselves. When do I get mine?
Oh, I'll prepare a special one for you.
On live television, you have promised
I
me.
have promised.
Okay.
I'll do that.
So gradually, I have to wrap up today's show. I have learnt a lot in terms of letting the scripture be my guide. But for those who are just joining us, I'm sure that you have a word or two for them.
I think it's important for all of us to recognize that the God who created us has interest in us and has plans for us. Things may not always go our way, but they will always be channeled His way. Whatever thy hand finds to do, do it with all your heart. Today is Workers' Day. I will encourage workers like myself to work hard. Be particular about what your name is attached to. That is very important. Even if it just passes through your hand, you just typed, you just put it in an envelope, whatever it is, make sure that when that document goes out or the event is assessed, that your name comes up, they will always say, I'm not surprised.
Thank you very much, Dr. Grace Bediako. But from us to you as a team, we have this special one just for you. Everything that you do, once you see this, you know that you're a phenomenal lady, and we celebrate you all the time. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. And then we've been talking about KEL 360, KEL Chako, and KEL Kids. I know you have a lot of children. The children's ministry, and for the family as well. So this is from us to you as well. Thank you for being a part of the show. And that's our show for today. Once again, Aiko to all Ghanaian workers. And this is the KEL Toothpaste PO show. I am Emefa Apawu. Another exciting edition comes your way, but do well to share all our social media pages. We're on YouTube, we're on Facebook. Make sure you catch us. Thank you to Coffee Clothing once again for my outfit for today. Happy Workers' Day.
Love is sweet, pass sobolo, sobolo, sobolo the sweet, K-O-E-I, Wodona Kama commemorate, paint, smile, mami, janshi, faint, kron vera, dio, saint, on pento kwa kasa ne complaint, they, you know they give.